Alright guys, in order to be able to complete our extended constructed response, you need to be able to understand the Declaration of Independence and what it's saying. In the OHS, you'll see there is a copy of an abridged version. You've already read the whole one. This is an abridged one that's going to help you work through the assignment for the extended constructed response. So while we're looking through a document like this, it's important to look at keywords and pick them out. And so here are 3 important keyword rules you can use when you're looking for keywords in a document. First of all, these words are usually nouns or verbs. Don't pick connector words like are, is, the, so, etc. You want those concrete nouns and those action verbs. Okay? And also sometimes adjectives can work as well, some of those descriptive words. The number of keywords depends on the length of the original selection, but we're going to go for around 10 for the 3 sections we're going to look at. So if you have a short section, you don't want to have a bunch of keywords, just a few. Also, you can't pick words if you don't know what they mean. So you either have to figure out what they mean by going online or choose a different word. Alright, so this is the first section. I want you guys to just listen and think about what it means. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. So let's look at this. So some of the key words we see here, and that I picked out, you may pick out different ones. I thought necessary and entitle, self-evident, creator, rights, destructive, and safety and happiness were all some good keywords that really kind of highlighted some of the important parts of this section of the document. So what is this section about? If we had to choose one of the sentences as written here to kind of sum up what this section is about, I chose that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. So when a government becomes destructive, when it's no longer working and no longer looking out for the best interests of its people, then it's the right of those people to change or to just get rid of that government and start a new one. So what's the message here? Well, the British government has failed the colonists and trampled their human rights, which are given by God. And that's how Jefferson feels, and that's what he's writing about here. So as a result, the colonies must separate from Britain and create their own government. All right, so let's look at this next part. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient causes. You don't want to just change them, just to do so. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferances of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. So looking at some of this, looking for some of the key words here. Prudence. What does that mean? All right, what does prudence mean? And so that was word. I know what it means. Do you know what that means? It means that you're really going to take care, pay attention. You're not doing something lightly, okay? and then experience is guiding them and their suffering and the evils that they've dealt with, and it's their right and duty to throw off and to come up with a new government. They're not going to put up with this repeated injuries and usurpations, and they're not going to put up with the tyranny. So what's this section about if you had to choose one sentence? I said, but when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government. So what is the message here? Well, human beings are only going to suffer so long without fighting back. They're not just going to, Jefferson doesn't feel that you just change your government on a whim. But after suffering for so long under this rule, they have no choice but to throw off this government and start a new one. And finally, the last section. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He, King George, has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless his people would relinquish their right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislator. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to civil power. He is abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burned our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun, with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled to the most barbarous ages and totally unworth the head of a civilized nation. So we're going to prove these are facts, and the whole world needs to see them. Okay? He's refused to say that he's refused to pass laws that the colonists need. He won't let the governors do this. He's neglected to attend to these requests. He's refused to pass these laws. He has armies, just soldiers standing around everywhere, intimidating the colonists. He says, hey, I can't really protect you guys anymore. So he's declaring us out of his protection. It says, in waging war against us. He has taken all of the fruits of the labors of the colonists and given them nothing in return. So a good sentence from this to sum it up is to prove this. Let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He is not doing what is best for the colonists, and everybody needs to see this. So what's the message here? Well, the king is the worst offender. He's treated the colonists like his enemies, and based upon how he has treated the colonists, how he has ignored their requests, he's unfit to be the head of their government. So this is just some information to help you work through the Declaration of Independence and what you will need to do when you write your extended constructed response.